Today is a wonderful morning, and it's a wonderful morning for one reason. The Timberwolves are the best team in the NBA. Okay, let's not get too carried away. But the Timberwolves played amazing yesterday, especially the GOAT, the new GOAT, Anthony Edwards, who's going to win MVP this year, obviously. But in all seriousness, Wolves are the Kingslayers. They really are. We beat the Nuggets, who were undefeated, the second to last team undefeated, and then we beat the Celtics, who were the last team undefeated. We improve our record to 4-2, and we beat the Celtics 109-114 in overtime. It was just a great game overall last night. Getting into the stats and all the points and all the advanced stuff, this game was close the entire game. I don't know if anybody ever got to a lead that was 10 or like anything that close. At halftime, Boston had a 3-point lead. And then going into the third quarter, the Wolves had a lead. And then going into the fourth, it went into overtime. And then the Timberwolves pull it off of the back of Anthony Edwards, who him and Jaden McDaniels were the only solid starting Wolves players. Naz Reid was clutch off the bench. Nickeil Alexander-Walker had a clutch 3 in the fourth. Kyle Anderson played pretty well defensively and just assist and rebounding wise, did everything he could. Karl Anthony Towns, let's start with the bad. So I'm a big Timberwolves fan. The first video I made on this channel was talking about Karl Anthony Towns and how I wanted him traded. And I still have that belief. And it was very evident in the game last night. It was very evident. All right. Let's just take a look at Cat's stat line. His box score, if we will. First off, let's start with good. He had 10 rebounds. He's a center. That's what he's supposed to do. Even though we have Rudy Gobert, who is going to get more rebounds than Cat. He's going to average more. So 10 rebounds is great. That's the only thing he did great. 7 points, 3 for 10 from the field, and 7 other shots were threes. This is a rant that I've had for a long time. Why is that his shot chart? Karl Anthony Towns is 7 feet tall, or like 6'11". He's close to 7 feet. And he only had 3 shots in the paint. I get it. Rudy Gobert's in there. It gets a little crowded. But, I mean, there's plenty of times where Cat could post up when he has a smaller defender on him. And what does he do? He tries to drive past them, and he gets an offensive foul every single time. I don't know if there's a game that goes by where Karl Anthony Towns doesn't get an offensive foul for doing the same exact move every single time. And it's when he's driving to the paint, and he extends his arm, and then he's super surprised like nothing happened. But everyone in the arena knows he just committed an offensive foul. Everyone knows he did. No one even disputes it. No one even gets mad because they know it's what it is. So he fouls out of the game in the fourth during crunch time. So we don't have Cat. He's absent. He only has 7 points. He had 7 turnovers as well. 7 turnovers and you're a center. Why? Like, stop getting too fancy with it. You're not him. You're not him. Please, we don't need Cat. And it was evident in this game. We beat the Celtics without Karl Anthony Towns. And he didn't have any presence at all defensively either. We don't need Cat. All right? Sometimes he's a very good addition. If he's knocking down his threes and he gets streaky, oh my gosh. We're unguardable as a team. But that happens not often. And he just takes away a lot of the Anthony Edwards minutes, all of the Jaden McDaniels shots, all of the Rudy Gobert shots, all the Mike Conley shots, Naz Reid. I'd rather have Naz Reid starting over Cat. That's never going to happen, but I think it's fair to be in consideration. So Cat just put up an absolute stinker. 7 points, fouled out, 7 turnovers. Only decent thing he did was get 10 rebounds. Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert is S tier lob threat, pick and roll threat. Maybe not S, maybe like A, because he can't do everything. He's just like the lob guy. But when he's getting those lobs, it's an easy play. He was 100% from the field, 6 for 6. I'm pretty sure all of those were lobs, or at least offensive rebound into putbacks. He had 12 boards, 14 points, 1 block. Rudy Gobert had an average Rudy Gobert night. Except for the free throw line. Buddy, get your free throw numbers up. I don't understand this. You are in the NBA. Do you not practice free throws? And luckily, free throws is one of those things where you can practice it, and every time you do it, it's at game speed. A free throw is never not at game speed. Unless you're playing like Lightning or something. I don't know. And you go 2 for 11, and some of those free throws were in crunch time? 2 for 11? 18% from the free throw line. That's abysmal. And I know he's not an 18% free throw shooter. He's around like 50%. But still, horrible. Now let's get to the good part. Jaden McDaniels. Oh my gosh, I love Jaden McDaniels. This man was guarding Jayson Tatum or Jaylen Brown the whole game. Jaden McDaniels played 45 minutes in this game. And the Celtics, they do those switches. They have either Jayson Tatum in at some points or Jaylen Brown. And Jaden McDaniels is guarding them every single time. Jaden McDaniels always guards the best player, and he always does well. Now, last night, he didn't do a great job. I mean, Jayson had 32. Jaylen Brown had 26. But Jayson Tatum is having so far an MVP-type season. Holding him to 32, I mean, yeah, that's not great. That's not like Defensive Player of the Year type numbers you're holding him to. But he didn't get 40. That's an addition. Jaylen Brown didn't get 30. They didn't go above their averages, which is what you need in the NBA. In the NBA, people are going to get buckets. If you can hold them to their averages, you're solid. And they didn't shoot amazingly. I mean, Jayson was 12 for 22. Jaylen Brown was 10 for 21. So Jaden did solid. And he guarded them the whole game. I mean, he had a negative plus minus. It wasn't his best defensive game. But Jaden McDaniels had a great offensive game. Great offensive game. He was our second leading scorer behind Ant. 20 points. 8 for 18. He had a very clutch three at the end of the fourth quarter. Or maybe it was overtime. I'm not sure. But he had a very clutch three where it was fourth quarter because he matched Jaylen Brown's three. Because Jaylen Brown went down the court, hit a three, and then Jaden McDaniels caught a corner three on the right side and nailed the three as well. He went 4 for 9 from three, 44%. That's amazing. That's what we need Jaden McDaniels to do. Jaden McDaniels always gets open threes during the game, and he needs to knock those down, and he did exactly that yesterday. And he started the game like 1 for 10. He started the game so bad, but then he pulled it through later into the game. And now Ant, I'm saying it right now. He's top 10. He's top 10. He's a top 10 player this year. He will lead the Timberwolves to a safe playoff spot. We're not going to be in the play-in anymore. We're done with that. The past 10 years, all we've made is the 8th seed. We're done. We're getting a top 6 seed because of Anthony Edwards and his play. Anthony Edwards had 38 last night, 9 rebounds, 7 assists. He was doing it all. Don't get me wrong. There were a lot of ill-advised shots that he was taking just because he was feeling it. But, if you're feeling it, are they ill-advised? One can argue. 15 for 25 from the field, 2 for 8 from 3. Made all but one of his free throws out of 7. And, dude, oh my gosh. That fourth quarter, the end of the fourth quarter, overtime, Anthony Edwards was insane. Insane. He was making every tough shot. There was a shot in the fourth quarter where he was sort of in the paint, two guys collapsing in on him, he does like some fadeaway and he banks it off and he makes it. Like, what is that shot? That's tremendous. I love to see it. I don't know if the Timberwolves have ever had a player like Anthony Edwards. I mean, we had Kevin Love, which is like a post player. I mean, you can go, but we had Kevin Garnett. I mean, like Sam Cassell, Wally Szczerbiak. I mean, we've never had a player like Anthony Edwards this athletic and can make such good shots. Even though they're bad shots to other people, he can make them. He can make all those tough shots. He's got that killer instinct in him, and I love it. Anthony Edwards on the year so far, he's averaging 28 points per game, 6.7 rebounds, and 4.8 assists. All of those are career highs if he maintains that. And I think he absolutely can maintain that. This year, we're going to see a way new Anthony Edwards. Totally new. And he's going to be an all-star. He's going to be all-NBA team. I have no doubt about it. He's going to lead the Timberwolves to a playoff run we haven't seen in a while. You can come back to this video and it'll be proof. It'll be proof. Off the bench, like I said, Naz Reid had an amazing game. Nickeil Alexander-Walker did what he could do. Kyle Anderson did what he could do. And that's basically it for bench players. I mean, Jordan McLaughlin played a little bit. Shake Milton played a little bit. They didn't have much impact on the floor. Jaden McDaniels and Rudy Gobert basically played the entire game, especially Jaden McDaniels, who played 45, almost 46 minutes. This is just what I love to see. We had sloppy moments, and we still won the game. If you're a good team, that's what that has to happen. There's going to be moments where you're sloppy. And what defines the winners between the losers in the NBA is being able to still win those games when you're being sloppy. And there were definitely sloppy moments in this game, but we pulled it off against a fully healthy, well, actually, they didn't have Derek White, but fully healthy, practically starting lineup with Jayson Tatum, Drew Holiday, Jaylen Brown, Al Horford, and Kristaps Porzingis. And we did a terrific job. Like I said, Jayson Tatum, he did his thing. Jaylen Brown did his thing. We were, I mean, Drew Holiday did not have a good night. I'm pretty sure Jaden McDaniels also guarded him. It might have been more Ant, though, if I remember correctly. But Drew Holiday had a stinker of a night. He went 4 for 16. We held Kristaps Porzingis very well, 5 for 14. Al Horford was held as well, 1 for 5. So that's the recipe for success against the Celtics, in my opinion. Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown are going to do their thing. They're going to do their thing. If you want to stop them, you got to stop the other guys. And that's exactly what we did. Terrific game plan by Chris Finch. Terrific defense by Ant, Jaden McDaniels, Rudy Gobert. Everyone on the squad had terrific defense. Kyle Anderson, too. Just a very well put together game. If we can do this every time, man, we beat the Nuggets and we beat the Celtics. We know we're a team that can contend with the big guys. We know we're a team that can do it. We just need to be consistent about it. As the season goes on, I have no doubt that we'll get more consistent about it. Anthony Edwards is only going to get more comfortable. Rudy Gobert is only going to get more comfortable in this scheme. Let's not forget, Rudy Gobert has been here, less than 2 years. He's still figuring some things out. Jaden McDaniels is getting into his own. I think we should trade Karl Anthony Towns, but that's neither here nor there. If we keep him, I hope he's an addition to the team. And Mike Conley, he's doing his vet thing. He knows how to run an offense. And I just hope we can keep it up. On to the next one.